Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another commentary for you guys. This is not a live game commentary, this is just commentary of a game that I played in the past. And this game, I am going to show you Rengar jungle. I got a lot of requests for Rengar. Okay, sorry, we're not even 30 seconds in and I'm already mucking up. Rengar jungle, I had a lot of requests for Rengar. There you go, I got it right. Ever since I made my tier list, which if you haven't seen my tier list, that link will be in the description. But I got a lot of requests to showcase Rengar because in my tier list I put him as a tier 1 and that surprised a lot of people. And to be honest, I'm not surprised that it surprised people because he really for a long time has been considered like really bad actually, like not like genuinely over nerfed and just awful. And he's seeing a resurgence in high elo solo queue, so I've seen him quite a lot on EU, and he's being seen even on NA. Actually, he's being played quite a lot. Though I'm not quite sure if he's being played as a jungler as much as he is as a top lane. I think a lot of people are playing him top lane, but regardless, people are really recognizing Rengar's strength as an assassin jungler. Like his old role used to be a tanky kind of guy, but now as an assassin, he's really good. And one of the reasons why he's so good is because you can do a triple Q on people. And I'm not 100% sure how this works. I know my friend Fourpaws did a video explaining it. So if you want to see like 100% how it works, click that video, which will be in the description as well. It's not a very long video, only like 30 seconds or something. But I'm pretty sure basically you get to like 4 stacks of ferocity. Or you get like full ferocity, then you pop your ulti. Like you use your Q at full ferocity, then you use your ulti, which then gets you back to 5 ferocity. And then when you land on someone, you hit them with an empowered Q. And then because you're on 5 stacks ferocity, you hit them with another empowered Q. And because that then resets a cooldown or something, it's something like that. Basically, you can hit people with 3 Qs in the space of 1 second, and 2 of those Qs are empowered. So if you build him as an assassin, you destroy people. And that's kind of why, really that's what the whole thing is, his strength is being worked around, is his ability to insta-give people. And because of his ultimate, he can come from anywhere. He's not an assassin who really needs to pick his spots, really, because he just appears out of nowhere. So he's really, really, really good. And so for this game, my runes and masteries would have already been on screen before, but they are, I believe I'm either flat 8, like 80 reds, 80 quints, armor yellows, mages, purple blues, and 921. Or you can go 2190 if you prefer as well. Or maybe even get some points into utility for like CDR and stuff. You can probably get armor pen as well on your reds if you want to do that too. But this game is kind of different because we have a lane swap in this game. Now, I'm not the best Rengar player. Definitely not the best Rengar player. And this is only a normal game, so this isn't going to be against the best. You're not watching very high quality Rengar plays, but I just wanted to showcase him as a champion in general. And I also wanted to try something new this game, which was, I started with a Doran's Blade. I know the Koreans have been doing this, where they'll get 2 Dorans instead of a Madreds or a Spirit Stone or something like that. They just get 2 Dorans. And it's, in theory it's really nice. The biggest downside to it is the fact that you don't start with any potions, which is why I went back so early. As soon as I could afford the second Dorans, I got my second Dorans and I recalled. Now, as far as my route and stuff went, I wanted to start at the buff where I got the most help, which would have been blue buff, because we had a double lane. We had a lane swap, which meant that our support was top lane, so it meant that the easiest place for me to start to get the most help, because I had no health potions, would be top, which was blue buff. And this is Rengar is not that good at ganking pre 6. I mean, he's not bad. He's very good at dueling and invading, but actual ganking, he's not that good, which is what you saw there. Katarina just walked away from me, but now I'm ganking with my full ferocity. So I'm going to have a guaranteed snare or loads of damage depending on how it goes. But they're going to see me coming, which is what they do, see me coming. But I might be able to, for some reason, stand still there. But the burst is enough to take down Sona. I thought I could flash and still jump out with my passive, which is where I jump out of bushes. But instead I flashed and stood on the spot. So that didn't really work out perfectly. But with the snare, the flash from Aurelia as well, we managed to pick up that kill, which is good. Anytime you're against like this Aurelia's against 2 people, she's going to need a bit of help. So I just get to show up and get that free kill as well. And lots of summoners were blown there. Unfortunately, Aurelia blew both her summoners as well, but it was worth it. We got the kill there. And when, like, with this double Doran's Blade start, you want to be quite aggressive. And Rengar is, well, he's an aggressive, he can be very, very aggressive as a champion. So, and he snowballs quite nicely as well. Anytime you're playing an assassin, you snowball very, very hard. So if you get fed, that is, you have the potential to snowball quite hard. So I want to get a lot of stuff going early. I want to try and do what I can. I'm farming quite nicely. Not great, but not awful either. I'm not foregoing loads of farm. And now, because I already died bot, I get to soak up this bot XP, which is exactly what I'm doing. I'm just staying around and I'm going to try and last it as much as I can. Although Ezreal's probably going to stick around and try and harass me. And I don't want to take too much damage. It depends. If I take too much damage, I'm going to definitely have to recall. I'm probably going to have to recall anyway, regardless. So it's not a huge deal if I take loads of damage. And if I keep Ezreal in this lane, that's even better, because Ez can't really do much. Right now, Ez is low on mana. He's not particularly healthy. So it's the perfect time for Aurelia to get free farm here, because he's stayed too long. That means he's going to have to recall now. And so Aurelia gets like 30 seconds or so where she can just farm without feeling the pressure. If Ezreal had recalled when Aurelia died, so that he was back in lane by the time that Aurelia came back as well, then that would have probably been the perfect. It would have been the perfect situation, because it would have meant that Aurelia wouldn't have got the free farm. Now I'm looking top lane. Oh, I shouldn't be recalling here, because I know at the time it's now 7:05, 7:06, which means that their blue buff is going to be respawning pretty much now around this time. Buffs take 5 minutes to respawn, so if they spawn at 1:55, they finish it at 2:10 roughly. It should be up at about 7:10. So I'm aware of the time, and I know that Nautilus just showed top, which means that this is pretty much free for me. I even used my smite beforehand. Like, I don't have my smite here, but I'm so confident in my ability to take this away, because Nautilus was so far away that I take it away anyway. I just show up and take it, and because of the way the new jungle works, you counter jungle. If you counter jungle, you're especially the buffs, you're really screwing people over. Now, I'm not on a lot of health here. I'm actually very weak at this point, but I know that with my, with Rengar has enough damage to be able to take that kill onto Katarina. And no, as soon as you get level 6, your ganks are pretty much guaranteed to succeed. Just because of your, you've got a stealth, they'll never see you coming. And this is kind of like my personal preference when I'm playing junglers. I really like to buy boots of mobility, and on Rengar it's no exception. And it's even better on Rengar with people with stealths. Boots of mobility is very good for people with stealth. So I did a video on that actually, just explaining it. But basically the gist of it is that if you're, anytime you spend, if you're moving fast while you're stealth, you're effectively increasing the duration of that stealth. As in, if you are really slow and your stealth lasted for 5 seconds, and your stealth lasts 5 seconds, you're really slow, you don't get to travel very far at all. But if you're really fast and your stealth lasts for 5 seconds, you'll travel a lot further, which would be the same as if your stealth lasted for, say, 7 or 8 seconds when you were slow. So it's a really good idea to have high move speed when you have stealth mechanics. And this is another invade onto Nautilus, because I know he was spending a lot of time top again. He doesn't have very good control over his jungle, and this is a good reason as to why Rengar is such a good champion, because of the way that I'm just stealing everything away from Nautilus. And Rengar is very good at doing this. He just steals things away very quickly because of his Q. He's very good at sieging towers as well because of this, but basically he gets a huge attack speed steroid. He just gets that bonus damage anyway, and he can keep that up if he's got his empowered. If he can, so say you've got 4 stacks of ferocity, you use your Q, and then your ferocity cooldown is reset again. So basically, you're getting just 100% uptime. When you're taking something away, you'll have that 100% uptime on the attack speed buff. So it's very good for stealing things away. And this is just I'm going in for another time. I've used my Q here before, trying to get the assassination off onto onto Katarina, which happens again. I flash him for that kill, and now it's kind of like an awkward situation where I need to survive, but I know that bot lane are coming up, so I'm just going for the kill here just because as my red buff, okay, my red buff gets that, which is quite lucky. But I need to be very, very careful of where this Ezreal and Sona are coming from. I don't, like, Galo really shouldn't be dying here. He's probably going to die, but that shouldn't have happened really. And this is what kind of like a mistake by me though, is my blue buff has been up for quite a long time, but I didn't want to take it away because I was too busy stealing away his blue buff and his red buff. I always wanted to prioritize their buffs over mine, but because of the way I didn't really use my time that great. Like I was invading, which is good. I stole their buffs away, so it's not a huge deal. It's not like I would in theory lose this blue for free, but I should have made more of an effort to take away this blue buff. It was really, you know, in between getting kills and stealing away their jungle, I forgot about my own blue, and because of the way events have turned out here, that Ezreal has travelled up from bot lane over to mid lane and chased Galio all the way over to blue. He's probably going to take that away, and we saw actually just there on the mini map, Ezreal took that away like 10 seconds ago, and so, you know, I didn't see that. That was just bad by me. Like, that was my fault to kind of let. It was an unfortunate series of events that led to that being taken away, but it was my fault regardless. Anyway, moving on to like the build which I'm going for now. Like I said before, Rengar is an asset when played to, in my opinion, his fullest potential. He is an assassin, so you want to build a lot of damage on him. And the first item I like to get on him is Blade of the Ruined King, because Blade of the Ruined King really, as far as burst champions go, it's not great because it doesn't give you a lot of flat out AD. It gives you attack speed and it gives you sustain. It gives you like health sustain and also sustain damage, because it's more, if you were just to stand there and right click on someone, you would feel more effects from the Blade of the Ruined King than if it was just like a burst trade, because that's what attack speed is. Attack speed is for sustained damage rather than burst damage. So Blade of the Ruined King isn't perfect for that, but at the same time the active is very good for burst. So on people like Zed, for example, it's extremely good because the way that it works with his ultimate, you put your ulti down and then you do extra damage, and anything you use within that ultimate is then amplified, and then it will do more damage towards the end. And this is a really unlucky chase by me. I should have killed Ezreal there, but that's just the power of an Ezreal with the blue buff again, which was my fault for him getting that. I chased him, and that is Rengar's weakness though as well, is that if he doesn't instantly kill someone, it can be kind of tricky for him to glue onto people. Not, you know, especially if those people are good at kiting, and I got kited to crap there, but it shouldn't have mattered really. It shouldn't have mattered too much because I would have basically, I died because Katarina TP'd in. I would have killed him otherwise. It would have been very, very close, but I still would have killed him. So I got a bit unlucky there, I suppose you could say, but still, that was a bit of a ludicrous situation. I misused my ultimate there as well. So I'm, like I said at the beginning of this video, I am not a great Rengar player, but I just wanted to showcase his potential. You know, if someone who is not very good with him, i.e. me, can have success with Rengar, and I have a moderate amount of success in this game, although it's far from perfect, then, you know, imagine someone who's really, really good. And all of the stuff which I'm showcasing, it will work in, you know, all solo queue. Like this guy, you could say things like assassins aren't as good at high reload because people aren't out of position as much, which is very, very true. They're not out of position as much, but players are also smarter at high reloads, as in the characters themselves. So the Rengar players are smarter at high reloads, so they see the opportunities when people are out of position, and they recognize when people would be easy kills for them, when otherwise other people would say, oh, I'm not too sure, I don't think he's out of position, when really he is out of position, but they just don't recognize those opportunities. So right now I'm just kind of clearing my jungle. There's not too much going on. I know that Ezreal and Sona are coming down from top lane, and I see that Sona is walking down on the minimap. Sona is walking down here. She's taken the wrong route, and so I know that I can ambush her. And this is what I mean by the power of Rengar. Look at this burst. It's absolutely insane. I don't even have that many items yet. I've got a Cutlass and 2 Dorans, which is not a lot. I am not that strong at all, really. But that burst is crazy. So just a really good... I mean, that Sona is also very, very squishy as well. So it's not that impressive, the fact that I just did that. But that's pretty much... That's Rengar, basically. And instead of hiding in bushes, you have your ultimate, which is like a traveling bush, because you're invisible as you're running around the map with your ultimate on, and obviously you're invisible when you're in bushes. So it's that kind of theory. It's that kind of thing, and that's the stuff which I get away with. Like right here, using my ulti, and when I assassinate, I can jump onto Katarina and take her down. And I've got a red buff here as well, and I am putting out quite a lot of sustained pain, just because that's kind of with my Q up as well. I mean, I do have quite a lot of sustained damage. It's not all burst with Rengar, but a lot of it is. And unfortunately, they kind of get baited a little bit. Like, that wasn't going too well for us, and then Sona appeared and they thought they could take it. But because I jumped back in there and I was like, nope, let's try kill someone. And I ended up putting on a lot of pain onto Nautilus, so he died as well, which is good. And this is something which you should be doing when you are jungling. Always take a look at the map and see the positions of the lanes, so that you can lane tax places. Or this isn't really lane tax, because it's, you know, it's not like I did a gank and then I'm stealing farm away or anything like that. This is just a good recognizing good opportunities to take away these, to farm up lanes. And you really do want to be farming up lanes when you're playing the jungle, especially the junglers who are good at potentially carry games by scaling well with items, which is exactly what Rengar does. Rengar scales extremely well with items, because more items he has, then the faster he can one-shot someone. Although I suppose that phrase, you can't really slowly one-shot someone, because a one-shot is just being killed with one shot. So that doesn't really make too much sense, but you know what I mean. Basically, the faster you can assassinate people if you have more items. And I have quite a lot of gold here, so I get to buy a Blade of the Rune King flat out. And like I say, on the surface, not an amazing item for Rengar. Not too bad, because it helps with his clear speed. It gives him a lot of sustain, which really, his sustain is not amazing when if you want to be clearing quickly. You don't really want to be using your empowered W, which is what gives you health. Your empowered W is what gives you health, but you don't really want to be using that too much, because if you do use that, then you're not using it on your Qs. So really, his sustain is not that great when he's jungling. The Doran's Blades help. Blade of the Rune King obviously helps even more. So it kind of makes up for it a little bit, but it's nothing. It's, you know, it just his sustain, like I say, his natural sustain isn't really that amazing when you're playing in the jungle. So Blade of the Rune King helps a bit with that. But you could argue, why go Blade of the Rune King when you could go Bloodthirster, which is a good argument. But like I say, the actual burst from the active of your Blade of the Rune King is really, really good. And here I get to pop my ulti again to try and jump in on someone. Blade of the Rune King active takes away Katarina. And now everyone's just lining up for me. Even this guy won't be able to get away from me. I'm a bit too tanky for this. One more Q. Or I could roar at him, that works too. I remember this happening. This is a huge mistake by me, and this was actually kind of like it's not a bug or anything, but it's just a misplay. Right here, what I meant to do there was I meant to Q on the creep which was standing next to me, just so I was gaining ferocity stacks, so that if I had to, you know, do an extended chase without Jax, then I would be slowly gaining ferocity stacks, and then I would be able to snare him or heal myself or whatever. So I wanted to use that opportunity as a quick, like, gaining ferocity, but I mucked up because I walked in the bush and the walls reset as I did it. So I ended up actually leaping into Jax rather than just turning around and quickly hitting the wolf. So that actually just got me killed. So that was really, really bad by me. A huge mistake. And I guess, yeah, I don't know, it was just a huge, huge mistake. So my items after Blade of the Rune King, like I say, sticking with the assassin theme, Last Whisper is probably what I'm going to get next. They haven't built a lot of armor on the enemy team, but firstly, it's always good to kind of predict what items they're going to go. And chances are they're going to get a bit of armor, because we have Rengar, we have Aurelia, we have Ashe. We have a lot of physical damage, and there's also a Nunu on our team. And Nunu enhances the physical damage of your team because of because of his blood boil. So basically those that do physical damage do even more damage because they have amplified attack speed. So building armor versus a team with Nunu in it is always a good idea. And I'm pretty fed. They know I'm hurt. I'm doing a lot of pain, so they're even more scared of me. So they'll probably be buying a bit more armor there. Now this could be a really good opportunity for us to fight. I think we can pick some people off here. I've just turned my ultimate on, so we'll see if we can get anyone. Instantly assassinate the Katarina. And this is a risky chase because we don't know where Ezreal's gone. Okay, Ezreal's here, so this is risky. This is a good team fight though. Ezreal jumps in, and I don't run away. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going for Ezreal. He jumps in and focuses someone else. And because he focuses someone else, that gives me the opportunity to just batter him down. And I use the bush really, really wisely here. I'm just going to recall this to show this. This here, in this team fight, I duck, like right there, I duck away. Why is the frame rate so shit? Okay, so we seem to be stuck on 10 FPS, guys. I have no idea why. There we go, we're back. Right, so that was awful. But I ducked into the bush on the ramp so that I could then jump onto Nautilus. Because else I wouldn't have been able to chase him. I used it as a gap closer, and that's something you should be aware of, is the fact that always use your passive where you can, because it's amazing. When you're fighting near bushes, it is honestly, it's an amazing passive. And now I'm getting even more fed. And like I was saying about Rengar's ability to siege towers, your Qs are so strong on Rengar for taking down towers. Not only does it give you loads of attack speed so that you just slaughter them, but also the actual Q itself is really, really good for just obliterating towers. So it's amazing. You saw how quick we took away that tower there. Now this Jax is getting a bit out of hand. You may say this looks like a stomp when it really isn't a stomp, because all of our teams, look at my team's scores. All of the gold is put onto me pretty much. Aurelia's not doing too well. Galio is not really doing anything. Ashe isn't really doing anything. Ashe has a lot of assists, so there's not a lot of gold on anyone outside of me. So, and I know this, that I know that I play poorly this game. Like, if this were a solo queue game and we would lose this game, it would all be on me. So basically the fate of the game now rests on my shoulders, because I'm the one that's fed. And that's all you can ask for. A lot of people actually say, when it comes to like to solo queue, they'll say things like, I get really fed, I go 10-0 every single game, I've got 200 CS but my team sucks, I can't carry them. Well, really, if you're 10-0 and you've got 200 CS and you're doing that well every single game, the reason you lose is you. Like, you are the reason you lose that game. If you're fed, you are the one who has to carry. That's all there is to it. There's no one else who should carry. And this is where I just get very, very aggressive here, thinking I can assassinate someone. And I actually do assassinate Katarina, even though our whole team is around her. I still assassinate her. Sony uses her ultimate on me, Nautilus uses his ultimate on me, and I'm still getting away from this. I'm still alive. I mean, the power of Rengar, like right there, he's so strong. But we have to be very, very careful with Jax, because he's on his way now. We get to kill Sona, but this is where Jax comes in. I jump in to try and just distract him, to take away some of the focus from my allies, just so we can get in a good team fight there, which is exactly what happens. Like, Jax instantly turns on me, and it's bad that I die, but my team just gets the free. We ace them there basically, apart from the fact that Katarina, well, actually no, Katarina did die, but she's respawned, so I didn't count as an ace. But she should be dead here too, but I don't think. This chase is going a bit wild. And she's flashed as well. I don't really know what's going on here, but whatever. So that was just like a good team fight. Even like most people would not have done what I did there is an aggressive play which worked in our favor. It was really good in the sense that their whole team were there and I was the only person there. It wasn't even like Katarina was isolated either. I just instantly blew her up. I took her down and then ran away. And my team came around. We managed to mop it up, and in the end it was a good team fight. But that is something that is the power of Rengar. Like, you assassinate people like that, it's really good. And that's why, in my opinion, Rengar was this tier 1. And now the next time which I bought here is a Tiamat. And Tiamat is, again, just more, more assassination. It's got damage on it. And more importantly, it has like the active where you do damage to everyone around you. So that's just like another form of burst, basically, which you can be using when you're trying to assassinate people. Now, we're at 25 minutes into this game, and if I remember correctly, this game kind of starts slugging on a little bit. It gets a bit boring, so I might speed up this, but basically, Ezreal face checks me right here, like, full out face checks me, and he dies instantly. And now we're probably not going to be able to chase Katarina because I got ulted by Sona, but it's a better idea here to be chasing onto Jax and Nautilus than it is to be going after that Sona. And as I was walking past the golems as well, I used abilities on them so that I was getting ferocity stacks, so that I hit 5 stacks, and that when I showed up to that fight there, I had 5 stacks of ferocity and I could snare someone so we would get the kill on them. Now, I don't really know why people are diving so hard here. This would be a perfect opportunity to just take away this inhib tower, but people are diving, which is really dumb. Like, this is a really bad time to be diving, and unfortunately, I myself actually get involved in this dive more than I should do. Like right here, I should back off, but Aurelia decides to go in as well. We're just gonna get kited for days. The enemy's gonna respawn, which is exactly what is happening. If I can get this tower though, it's not too bad. I get the tower, which is okay, but we could have taken this tower. We could have probably taken the inhibitor. If no one had dived here, we could have got the inhib and we would have been fine about it. But instead, we just get a bit too greedy for the kills. We didn't need to get greedy for the kills. They couldn't have really defended it. If they wanted to defend it, then we would have all been on the same page, and we could have, they would put themselves in vulnerable positions to try and defend, rather than us forcing that vulnerable position, which never really showed itself. There's no point trying to go for an opportunity which doesn't exist, which is exactly what happened. The opportunity didn't exist. We went for it, and as a result, we were punished. I mean, it didn't even go too bad. We got like 2 towers from that, including an inhib tower, which is pretty good. But I mean, I'm going to speed up the rest of this game because it gets pretty tedious here on out. I make like a huge amount of mistakes. I just kind of go brain AFK. Really, there's no really other excuse for it. I just start playing really poorly. And really, basically at this point in the game, we just want to end the game. We need to finish the game while I'm still strong. Jax is really strong though as well, which is the issue. Jax is the issue. No one really else is the issue on the enemy team. Ezreal actually to an extent, and Nautilus is also very tanky. But this is dumb. We had a call to go and top lane to push top lane, and instead some people were diving mid, and so I stupidly thought I could go dive with them, which was my fault. I shouldn't have dove on that as well. Should have just stayed top lane. Just making poor decisions. And again, I was going to use my ult here to catch someone off, but we're just getting caught left, right, and center. There's not really anything to analyze here. It's just bad play, and we lose the inhib out of this. So we were winning. Like, before I started fast forwarding any of this, we were winning really hard, like on gold, on objectives. But now we've lost an inhibitor, and we're even behind in gold. Like, we are losing this game pretty handedly. We're losing this game, so it's awkward. That's just how it's gone. Like, the game is slipping away from us. So, and just because of poor decision making. Now I'm going for a black cleaver next because CDR is nice, damage, armor pen, health. It's just a really nice item in general. And I see Katarina caught out of position, and this is the power. Like that is Rengar. That's why Rengar, like, even that was late game. If you thought I was just assassinating people because I was fed early, nope. Late game, I'm still assassinating people. And what's her face? Katarina, she had Azonias. Like, she has Azonias, so she does have some armor. She also has a Haunting Guise, which isn't that much, but it's a little bit of health. So she's not like really squishy. It's not like I assassinated that Sona and was like, yeah, look how much damage I've got. It wasn't like that at all. Like, that Katarina has armor. She has a bit of health. She is tanky. Well, she's not actually. She's not tanky at all, but she's not really squishy. So, and that wasn't even like a struggle. I just took her down. I just completely took her down, like, just obliterated her. So that really, if I was going to sum up Rengar in one in one moment, that would have been it. And now more team fights where we're catching people off, and this is now where we need to get the inhib, but we're getting kills as well, so it's all working out. But we get, I personally get way too aggressive there, stupidly, and again, like poor decision making, trying to force too much when we just don't need to. Get to kill Nautilus here because again, my ultimate Rengar just an assassin. Speed, 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 speed. More fights, but this fight was something which should have turned in our favour because we caught someone out of position. But now this is Jax. Like, look at all the kills that are popping up on the right for Jax. And oh yeah, and Nunu was like DCing throughout all of this, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so but Jax is now 20 for 4 for 6. Like Jax is really, really hard for us now. Like the later the game goes on though, the more damage we'll have to deal with him. But as it stands, he's really difficult for us to deal with. So. And with Jax is top now, so this would have been a perfect time for us to fight if Nunu wasn't DCing all the time. And even though he reconnects here, if I remember correctly, he DCs again, like, pretty much instantly. Or he runs up, yep, there you go, he's gone. So, again, we can't force anything. And it's a really awkward situation for us to play in, because we can't force stuff, because we can't defend objectives, we can't force objectives, because Nunu is not here, it's 4v5. But Karina's bot here. So we get to have a fight. Catching Ezreal out of position there. Like, he was in the middle of his team. He wasn't even really out of position, to be perfectly honest. But Rengar, with his just invisibility, and you know, he catches him out, and then we blow everyone else up. Some people go to chase. We finish off Baron here, me and Aurea. Rengar's pretty good at taking away Baron, but. And then now for the tower siege, which I was telling you all about. Rengar's potent. Like, look how fast he just obliterates these things. And then we're gonna get this top inhib too. And I remember, I think there's a team fight which goes on, which I kind of wanna. I don't know whether it's already happened or not. This might be it here. Okay, I think this is the team fight here. Basically, they in the mid lane. They start baiting Ezreal. I'm pretty sure it's Ezreal they bait. Like, people run off to the side here, and Ez stays in the middle. Really overextended. Like, I think he may even try to take on this next wave, if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay, here they go. So they're baiting the utter shit out of this Ezreal. I know that these guys are baiting Ez. I 100% know they're baiting him. Look, I can see they pop up, so I'm like, fuck, like, oh shit, I can't go on Ezreal. But look who's in the background. Karina's in the background, so I get to assassinate her and take her out. And they all peel onto me. And so my whole team just goes on Ezreal. And I've got a GA. So me doing this doesn't even matter. Like, I died. But it really didn't matter. Because I came back alive again. And that's kind of like the power of GA with assassins. You jump. It's like. This is why assassins with resets are so strong. Because that is kind of like. For Kha'Zix, for example. Or Karina. Well, we'll say Kha'Zix for now, because your jumps reset, which you can use defensively. So you jump in there, you go really, really aggressive, you draw so much attention, and then you're instantly safe again because of the resets. As long as you get those kills, you're safe again. Same for like a GA, really, because it's like a reset, it's like a defensive reset. You jump in, you kill someone, and then you die, but you've got your GA, so you come back alive again, and it's like a reset. So I hope you enjoyed this little Rengar commentary. It was quite a long video, so I apologize for that. I apologize for not playing perfectly either. I know I played pretty poorly, but I'm not the best Rengar player, and I wasn't, you know, I just suck really. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Like I said, all the links will be in the description if you wanted to check out my tier list, for example, anything like that, which I've mentioned before. And also you can follow me on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on my Nook. Follow me on Twitch or whatever you want to do. That's fine. If you want to do that, I would much appreciate that, because you can stay up to date with me if you wish to do that. All those links would have been playing on the screen as you're watching this video. They're, you know, Facebook and Twitter are /FoxdropLol. My Nook and Twitch are /Foxdrop. But thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe this gave you a bit more insights to why Rengar is in the right hands. Anyway, a tier 1 jungler. I'm not the right hands, but I still did pretty well this game. But thanks for watching, guys. and I will see you in my next video.